Hi, this is Ken. For the fifth part of my trip in Chile, I am visiting the north of Chile, Atacama area. I just arrived in Calama Airport. Now I'm just driving on the way to Valle del Mu. Sadly, Yisan has left me and Oscar suffering Chile. She's gone back to London this morning, so for this part of the trip, it would only be me and Oscar. On the way from the airport to Valley of the Moon, there's a stop I am at, which is apparently this magic bus. It's just a random bus shell parked in the middle of the desert. It was a bit crazy driving up here because the roads aren't really shown on Google Map. We used the satellite of Google Map to navigate towards this bus shell. And the view is very beautiful and it's super quiet. We've got this place to ourselves. We can see the snow mountains behind me, and like a lot of random dunes, as well as very white looking ground. But yeah, this is the vibe of this bus. It's quite interesting and I quite like it. Even though I kept saying I don't really like free spirit, I'm not a free spirit, but I guess this place is very photographable and hopefully I'll get some nice photos. Just for FYI, this is the kind of road leading to the magic bus. A lot of bumpy terrain and it's very empty and deserted, but don't feel scared. It's actually very well marked and you can clearly see which are roads, which are just dirt. Continuing from magic bus towards Valley of the Luna. There's a Mirador. The major activity today is Valle de la Luna. Over here is the welcome center and the ticket office. Tickets purchased online have to be stamped here, or tickets could be purchased here as well. And there are toilets as well. It's quite a big car park. The first site I'm stopping at is called Duna Mayor, the major dune. It's quite difficult to walk because I'm walking on sand. At least I'm wearing my hiking boots. I have to say the altitude here is quite high. I do feel some sensation on my chest. The sand dune is so grand. It's very interesting to see some weird footprints or just some marks on the sand as well. Not sure what they are. But yeah, it's very beautiful view and it's super quiet over here. No one around. I really enjoy sightseeing like this. The next stop we are at is the salt mine. The entire paths are covered in salt crystals. They honestly look like snow, but they're not snow, just salt. It's not as beautiful as advertised on the map. At the end of this circuit is 3 Marías, the Tres Marías. I'm in front of Tres Marías. It's very impressive. The last stop I am at is called Achaches. Apparently, it is a 1.5 hour trail. I left this until the end because earlier the sun was quite strong, so hopefully as the sun is setting, it's not as warm as earlier. We're back, so we actually finished this trail 1 hour instead of 1.5 hours, and now we've done everything in the Valley of the Moon. It's time to check in our hotel in San Pedro. We just drove past the first stop we made at noontime, which is the Duna Mayor. Look at the stream of people. It seems a sunset time tour is a thing, so the minibuses are taking the tourists to Valley of the Moon first, and then they'll make to the sunset point. Even though the noontime might be super hot and super sunny, it might be worth coming during that unpopular time just to get some peacefulness, but the views are definitely better at sunrise and sunset, also the temperature. We just go to the town of San Pedro. It is super sandy. I've never been to a town like this. The place I am staying is called La Estación, as written on this plate. I'm very impressed by this place. Even though it's not some upscale hotel, it is very homey and very comfortable feeling. The host, Xiaoling, is a very nice person. Here's a very small mini pool. It's basically not functional, but there's a different pool I'll show later. This is my room. We left our shoes outside because we just came from Valle de la Luna. And look at Oscar's shoes. It should be black, but now it's the same color as mine, and mine's like a different pale color. This is our room, number 7. Apologize for the mess. We just have a lot of things. So this is a very small room, no aircon, but because the weather gets quite chilled in the evening, there's no need at all. And then here's the bathroom. The entrance is behind the main entrance, and Oscar is just washing some of his clothes. It's quite an okay bathroom, but it's a bit short on space, so the basin is quite basic, and we don't really have much place to place toiletries and skincare stuff. Here is the cafeteria, and apparently everything is available 24 hours. I'm very impressed by this. So the kettles are here, all of the drinkware, mini oven glasses, different spreads, savory and sweet snacks, coffee, tea, and even avocado. Like, it's real avocado, it's not just on display. And then different fruits. Drinking water is available here as well. And oh yeah, of course, there are more cookies and stuff here. And some drinks in the fridge. And that's the breakfast area, like the canteen. There are some tables here as well. Oscar is hanging his clothes because he's quite filthy from the hiking. At the back of the hotel, they're doing some construction work, but that's okay. This is where my car is parked. Basically, any available space is fine. It's quite natural environment. There is San Pedro. Over here, there's a nicer pool. I only paid around $110 a night. In San Pedro, of course, there are some upscale places which cost a lot more, and there are some cheaper places. This place has a lot of good reviews. I didn't really know what to expect, but everything so far has been great. I've never seen any places as generous as Xiaoling. I make the famous sunset spot, which is called Mirador de Kari. Ticket for Valle de la Luna is required to enter this place at sunset time. Sun is actually there, but then I think what people come here to see is the beautiful sunset color. So I feel like Chile is really pushing my limit and Oscar's limit again and again. So somehow this city, even though it's very touristy, is super dusty. Literally at every single minute, it's gonna be eaten by sand. So yeah, I highly recommend N95 mask, not only in Santiago, but in San Pedro de Atacama. Honestly, walking to a restaurant in the dark with all of the sands is not fun. This is the main street of this town, and it's like this.
You know what it looks like to me?
What?
How high in Beijing, when they redid the Hutongs, is exactly like this. And there's an area in Chengdu basically the same.
But the thing is it paved?
When I lived in Beijing in 2012, the Hutongs weren't paved.
Oh, I think the good thing about this place is there are a lot of shops on this high street. Well, not high street, the main street of this town. So I can do some souvenir shopping. I quite like this fluffy llama. So after a day of being tortured by Chile again, we are finally sitting down for some food and have the drink. We're having this one. So this restaurant's got Adobe, so it's probably their own reserve or whatever. Well, also known as the cheapest bottle of wine on the menu, and it's a Merlot, so well good. Cheers, Oscar. After a very photographable day, how do you feel about Atacama and San Pedro?
I think it's very beautiful here, and I'm glad we came. I would highly encourage people to brave the height of the day. If you can stand the UV, I recommend like a UV scarf, sunglasses, lots of sunscreen. But it is very quiet, and it's very eerie, but in a lovely kind of isolated way, to be in those valleys with the red and the blue sky and everything by yourself, or maybe with like someone you care about, rather than having people everywhere. You have this sense of isolation, but also exhilaration with it, which I'd highly recommend. Also, highly recommend the bus. I was skeptical, but it's worth the drive. The magic bus.
Oh. I forgot what magic bus is because there's no public transportation at this place. It's like, what bus? But yeah, highly recommend magic bus. And what? Yeah, highly recommend magic bus and bring a mask, honestly, because it's very essential.
I just realized we've seen it.
As we're very hungry, we ordered a salmon ceviche Peruvian style to share. It's a very generous portion. Our main dish has arrived, and Oscar somehow ordered fish and chips. So what is the thing under the pile of onion?
Chilean salad, Chileno.
So is it potatoes?
Salad Chileno. No,
It's tomato, onion, coriander, and vinegar.
Yeah. So fish and fancy chips like potato wedges, and my dinner is, oh my god, it's apparently a poor man style ribeye. So 2 eggs and fries and beef. Honestly, I have to say, even though Chile really makes me stressed, I love the food here. It's just like enough meat for me, and I love beef, so all good, and wine as well.